Good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. Come on in, come on in. Welcome to the dinner table. And at the dinner table, my brother and sister, you know that I have some good food for the soul. I've been away for a few days and I'm glad to be back, my brothers and sisters. It's good to be here with you. If this is your first time being at the dinner table with us, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I speak on relationships. When I speak on relationships, I strongly believe from a biblical point of view. When I say biblical point of view, I strongly believe that God is the creator of relationship. So if God is the creator of relationship, things should go God's way, not man's way. In the beginning, God created the man first, and after he created the man first, the man being Adam, he had Adam all together, and then he stepped to the side and created the woman Eve, and he represented the woman Eve to the man Adam, and in the presence of God, the man Adam said, "Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I shall call a woman because she came from man." How you doing, Sister Martina? Welcome to the dinner table. How you doing, Sister Flo? Welcome to the dinner table. If you're coming in, brothers and sisters, you can invite some more family members and friends to sit at the dinner table with her, because you know I got some good soul food for everyone. We got plenty of seats and we got plenty of soul food for the soul. Now, if you believe in another type of relationship other than the relationship that I talk about, you have what is called a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do. But when I talk about relationships, I talk strictly from God's point of view. And what is God's point of view? Go directly to the book of Genesis, and you see God had a unique relationship with the man first. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman, and he represented the woman to the man. That's the type of relationship. That's the type of union I believe in. And with that, and also my brother and sister, I'm on two different platforms. If you on the tube, I may make some comment to those that are on the book. You may not see their comments, but I'll call out their name, and vice versa. Those you on the book, some people, some brothers and sisters, they may be on the tube. I may make a comment towards them. You may not see them, but we're our brothers and sisters here, okay? And if there's anything you want to say at the dinner table, my brother and sister, by all means, you could jump in and say whatever you need to say, long as we're talking about what's on the menu for tonight. By the way, what's on the menu for tonight? How can a man and woman be so different, yet God can make them as one? How you doing, Sister Tierra? Welcome to the dinner table. Again, when you look at the menu for tonight, we are going to discuss at the dinner table, how can a man and woman be so different, yet God can make them as one? When it comes to a relationship, my brothers, when it comes to a relationship, my sister, opposite does not attract. I know you have heard the saying opposite attract. That's the world point of view. God is not an author of confusion. He'll God of peace. God brings things together in order. God does not bring chaos together. So that's the world point of view, opposite. But opposite doesn't attract. That's the world point of view. But being different, now that's the key thing. Being different and becoming one attracts a man and woman together, and it is designed by God. Okay? So a man and woman could be different, and God designed a man and woman different, okay? And that's the only thing we'll talk about, the difference between a man and a woman. That's what we're discussing here tonight at the dinner table. Now, when God bring a man and woman together, my brother and sister, when it's all by God's design, when the man asks God for a woman to be in a serious committed and covenant relationship, and when the woman desire for a man to find her so she could be in a serious committed and covenant relationship, God at the onset, and this is God's idea, God will separate that man and woman from the world because he want that man and woman to be holy. Why does God want that man and woman to be holy? He want that man and woman to be one unit. And in this very unique way, my brother and sister, God would like for that man and woman to represent, it's like a representation of Christ's relationship with the church. So God does not bring a man and woman together just for their sakes. Even though God said it's not good for a man to be alone, everything God does, my brother and sister, he does it for his glory. So when God when God handpick a woman for a man, and when he handpick a man for a woman, he does it strategically because he want that man and woman light to shine. Not only does God want a man and a woman light to shine individually, when that man and woman get together, they have a big shine. I mean, they really big and shine. As it is written in the book of Ephesians 5, that chapter 5, 25:33. Again, the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, 25:33. Again, Ephesians 5, 25:33. Men, listen to this. First, men, listen to this. Then the women, you listen to this. As you know, God would like for a man and woman to jump over the broom and become husband and wife. As I have always said, God only endorses a relationship between a man and woman that gets engaged, moving towards marriage with a marriage date, or they are married. God does not play a man and woman just being girlfriend or boyfriend, just living together and seeing what's going to happen. God is not like that. God is about you doing what is right. How you doing, sister Patty Dead? Welcome to the tonight dinner table. These are for the guys. And God talking to a guy from what position this guy's in. God said husband. And this is what Paul wrote. It said, husband, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that it might be sanctified and cleansed it with the washing of the water by the word, that he may present it to himself a glorious church, not being having spots or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemishes. Now, God set an example through Apostle Paul that a man supposed to love his wife as Christ loved the church. Then it goes on to say, so ought men to love their wives as their own body. So when a man is in a serious committed and covenant relationship, that man and woman is one. They are one flesh. God merged the man and woman's mind, that man and woman's heart, that man and woman's will, that man and woman flesh, and that man and woman, all resources. God merged the man and woman together. The man and woman that God handpicked to be with one another, to represent Christ in this world as Christ loved the church. Now, going to say, so ought men to love their own wives as their own body. He that loves his wife loves himself. So if a man, let me tell you something, sisters and brothers. How you doing, Sister Jan? Welcome to the dinner table. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. If you want to know whether a man love his wife, if a man love himself and he's married, he love his wife. If a man does not treat his wife right, he don't love himself. And that's what I have told some of you sisters. When a man talk to you disrespectfully, he doesn't treat you good, it's deeper than you. Some of you sisters, you want to take it personal, and I understand because a woman is mostly emotional. But if a man does not treat his woman right, he doesn't talk to her right, he doesn't treat her right, that man has an eternal problem within himself. So it's deeper than you, sister. The man got a problem within himself. And that's just how it is. Because the Bible clearly say that a man that love his wife love himself. For no man ever hate his own flesh, but he nourishes and cherishes it, even as the Lord the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of the bone. For this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall join unto his wife, or cleave unto his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, my brother and sister, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you, that the men that's supposed to be husband, not boyfriend, that's supposed to graduate and get that diploma called the husband diploma. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and church. Nevertheless, let every one of you particularly so love his wife, even as himself. And the wife that she reverence her husband. What does reverence mean? It means respect. And this is the part that goes for the wife, not the girlfriend, not the living. A woman's supposed to walk across the stage and get her tassel whatever y'all call it, and then you throw it over here. She graduated. She graduated to get her diploma called a wife. And it say, wives, submit yourself. And this is Ephesians 5, 22-34. Again, Ephesians 5, 22-34. Again, Ephesians 5, 22-34. Paul is writing to the people in Ephesus. It said, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. You understand that, sister? This is Bob. This is not Tony. Tony just the news person at station GOD. It say, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subjected unto Christ, so let the wife be to their own husband in everything. So the husband is commanded to love his wife, and the wife is commanded to submit to her husband. Brothers, you are not a dictator, so you cannot dictate to a woman to do the right thing. Husband, if those you guys that are interested in having a bona fide, strong relationship with a woman, my recommendation is do it God's way. And then likewise, sister, you need to do it God's way. Because if you do it God's way, you may have some bumps in the road, you may have some storm, but you'll have a more successful relationship if you do it God's way. Believe me, I have been out there before, my brother and sister, many a time, trying to do it my way, but I failed. God don't want you, brother, just going around dating a woman. He doesn't want that. God wants you to be serious. Sister, God don't just want you to date. He wants you to do it his way. If you do it God's way, you will have a blessing and you will experience this thing called a utopia. Ocean Eye, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the dinner table. And Jane, I hope I said welcome to the dinner table too. Also, we're going to get into the best way for two people to have a blessed relationship. Now, how can two people have a blessed relationship? If that man and woman do it God's way without exceptions. It got to be without exception. You got to do it one way or the other, my brother. So you're either going to do it your way or you're going to do it God's way. Now, if you do it God's way, I'm about to break down, because God is the one that created the relationship between a man and woman. So if God is the creator of everything, and if God is the creator of the relationship, why are you going to go to these counselors? And they're just going to tell you how to handle things the world's way. And most of the counselors, they're not godly counselors. They're going to tell you something that they were taught in school. I don't have nothing against counselors, because I do that. But when I'm saying, is it godly counsel? Does this counsel, if you're going to go to a counselor, do they go to God's word and tell you how a man's supposed to do in a relationship and how a woman's supposed to do in a relationship? How you doing, Sister Jessica? Welcome to the dinner table. Now, since men and women are different, I got 7 points I need to make, and you need to take this, my brother and sister, and really think about it. Number one, a man and a woman must recognize that they are both different. They have different strengths. They have different weaknesses. They are both human, which means neither one of them are perfect. Let's start right there. Brother and sister, stop looking for a perfect man or woman. That perfect man or woman does not exist. That's why some of you brothers, you interested in being in a relationship with a woman, and some of you sister interested in being in a relationship with a man, but you're looking for the perfect man or woman. He or she doesn't exist. The only perfect couple was Adam and Eve. After Adam and Eve, there was no perfect relationship between a man and a woman. The only perfect person that actually lived on this earth and walked around was Jesus the Christ. Jesus, the only perfect person. As far as character, no flaws. But my brother and but my sister, you got to understand this. When it comes to a relationship, you're not going to find a perfect person. But however, you could be in a relationship with the right person. Now, when it comes to the right person, you brother and you sister, I'm telling you, you have to go to God and ask God to bring it to pass. Do not lean to your own understanding, because I understand that, my brother and sister, I have been led by my own understanding several times. That's why when I did it several times, I kept failing, 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 failing until I decided to stop being that prodigal son and get out that pig pen, going to that far country of the world, and God, in his time, he made it happen for me because I decided to do it God's way instead of playing out there. You see, God don't want no players, brothers. God don't want no players, sister. It's time to get from that players table, player, and then put those cards away and then do it God's way. Because I'm going to tell you, my brother and sister, the playing thing is just a game. It's a game of manipulation. That's all it is. It's a game of manipulation. Men trying to see how much they can manipulate women, and women trying to see how much they can manipulate men. We got to grow up, my brother and sister. I had to grow up. I was up in age, but I still had to grow up. Sister Flo said, do not lean to your own understanding. That's right, Sister Flo, and the person and the right person. That's right, Sister Flo. Now, and the man and woman, they must accept each other as a work in progress. Brother and sister, when you get in a relationship with a man or a woman, you got to understand your mate is a work in progress. He or she have not reached perfection. And let me tell you something there. Your mate, brother or sister, your mate will never be reach that point of perfection. The only time that person gonna meet or reach that point of perfection is when Jesus comes. Other than that, if that man and woman is a work in progress, they will never be perfect. So that's why a lot of men and women, you're going from relationship to relationship to relationship, looking for Mr. Right. Looking for Mr. Perfect. You say Mr. Right, but you actually looking for Mr. Perfect. And let me tell you something, my brother and sister. What man know what a perfect woman look like? What woman know what a perfect man look like? No man knows what a perfect woman looks like. And vice versa. No woman knows what a perfect man look like. But you can experience being in a relationship with the right person. But you got to understand this. You're going to have sunshine and you're going to have rain. You're going to have different seasons. I know this is going to surprise some of you, but you see that young lady right there, Cinderella. I know they're gonna surprise some of you, but Cinderella and I, we have some storms sometimes. I know that hurt some of you all. Y'all thought we were perfect, right? But we have storms sometimes. But guess what? Jesus is the captain of our ship, the relationship. We don't abandon ship. We don't say man overboard. Just because some water get on the ship and it be rocking, why are we gonna jump off the ship and get drowned? No, we're going to stay on the ship. If we're going to go down, we're going to go down on the ship, because Jesus is the captain of the ship, my brother and sister. And you're going to face storm. You got to understand it, my brother and sister. But you will, if you do it God's way, you're going to have more sunny days than you have bad days. But you're going to have some bad ones, because you're either going to be going into a storm, you're going to be in the storm, or you coming out. It rotates. You have different seasons in your relationship. You're gonna have some real good time. And you're gonna feel so energetic. That's the springtime. That's when you're so excited. Then you're gonna have the summertime. You're gonna just be chilling. And then there's gonna come some time. It's gonna be fall time, and that's when you're gonna get relaxed and you're gonna start learning more about your mate and yourself. And then the winter time, that's when it's gonna get real cold. You're gonna experience some real cold times in your relationship. Okay, but season change, you're gonna change, brother and sister. Brother and sister, the person that you decide to be, if you marry someone today, 5 years from now, hypothetically speaking, 5 years from now, that person not gonna be same. As a matter of fact, that man and woman that you married to today, they're going to change daily. You may not see it, but they change daily. No man, sister, and no woman, brother, stays the same. They may do some similar thing, but as a man and woman grow, especially if that man and woman is in the Lord, they're going to increase with wisdom. They're going to increase with understanding. They're going to increase with discernment. You understand? So they're going to understand again with wisdom. And after wisdom, I forgot to say knowledge. So they're going to increase in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and discernment. Those are gifts, what the Lord gives to the man and woman. And the Lord, being in a relationship, going to show the man and the woman how to utilize those gifts. How does a man love a woman? He has to have the Lord in him. How does a woman respect a man? She has to have the Lord in it. No man know how to naturally love a woman. No woman know how to naturally respect a man. The Lord has to be the motivator. So if a man is planting love in the woman, with the seed of love in the woman, and the woman planting the seed of respect in the man, guess what the man gonna get? When the man sow love into the woman, he's gonna reap respect. When the woman respect, when she sow the seed of respect into the man, she gonna reap love. That's how it goes. It's always a sowing and a reaping. You will not get nothing without planting and cultivating a relationship, my brothers and sisters. Now we go to number 2. A man and a woman must have super communication skills, verbally and non-verbally. You understand, my brother and sister? A man and a woman. Number 2, they must have super communication skills, verbally and non-verbally, as it is written in the book of James 1:19-20. Again, the book of James 1:19-20. Again, the book of James, chapter 1:19-20. It said, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. For the wrath of man work not the righteousness of God." Now we're talking about verbal communication. Thank you, Sister Cheryl. We're talking about verbal communication. How you doing, Sister Palm? Welcome to the dinner table. Now, when the Bible says every man must be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, what does that have to do with communication? That means a man, when he's talking to his woman, when he's in communicating with his woman, before talk, you have to listen. And that go for you, sister, too. Before talk, you have to listen. You have to be swift to hear. Remember, it's very elementary. That's what Sherlock Holmes would tell Watson. It's very elementary, Watson. You got 2 ears and you got 1 mouth. So that means you're supposed to listen twice as much as you talk. So what does swift to hear mean? When it comes to communication, you have to be a good listener, my brother and sister. You must be a good listener. And what does that mean? When your mate is talking to you, when your mate has the flow, that means do not interrupt your mate. Even when your mate take a breath to breathe, don't just jump in. Because you see, you're not doing active listening when you're listening to come back with something. That's not active listening. You see, active listening, you trying to listen to and understand what your mate is saying to you. You don't listen for a comeback. You listen for understanding. You understand? So that's how communication goes. You have what is called a sender and you have what is called a receiver. So the one that's leading the talk, that is the sender. And the sender is sending messages to the receiver. So the receiver, if you're the receiver, you do not say anything until the sender is finished. If you have a problem in that part, sender and communication, my recommendation is get your sheet of paper or pen if you're one of those people that can't contain. If it's something that you need to address, out of respect for your mate, write it down on a sheet of paper so you can address it at that time. Now, for clarity, when your mate is the sender, you listen intensely and with care. You see, my brother and sister, when your mate is talking, you don't only listen with your hear with your ear, you listen with your heart. You understand? Listen with your heart. Don't listen just with your ears. Let it go into your heart and listen. And this is the problem of listening. Brothers, when you listen to your woman, you have to have empathy because she comes from she comes from the emotional equation. That's where your woman comes from. She wants you to feel what she's saying. You don't have a feminine side, brother. That's why you have to have Jesus. So when your woman is talking to you and Jesus is in you, Jesus' spirit going to communicate to you your woman's feelings. You have to feel her words. You understand, bro? You got to feel her words. She is on empathy. And then, sister, when your man talk, we got something interesting to talk about when it comes to talking shortly, okay? When your man talks, sister, you have to listen with logic because your man is logical. And the only way you can understand from his viewpoint, you need the Lord too. You understand? You need the Lord because he doesn't verbally communicate like you. So, sister and brother, we are communicate with one another differently. No man can communicate verbally like a woman because he's not a woman. And no woman can articulate like a man because she's not a man, which comes to slow to speak. When the receiver is talking, when the sender is talking, and you are the receiver, my brother and sister, be very slow to speak. That means you're supposed to comprehend, take in what he or she say. And then if you need clarity, you ask him or her, what do you mean about that part? So you can get clarity. See, when it comes time to slow to speak, that means that you are listening. You're actively listening, and then you slow to speak. You have to be very selective when you're talking, because once your mate stop being the sender, guess what? You become the sender, and your mate become the receiver. So now it's your turn to send a message to your mate. And your mate's supposed to listen actively while you are communicating verbally to him or her. And you have to be slow to speak, so he or she can understand what you're saying. And then sometime when you're communicating verbally with your mate, you can get angry. You can actually get angry. But God's words say be slow to wrath. Yes, it could get a little intense. You see that lady right there, and you see that man that's standing by. We have to watch how we communicate verbally with one another. We could tell if it's about to get hot because her nose might start again like that, and my eyebrows start again like that. So we know it's intense, right? But we don't disrespect one another. We don't call one another names. We don't talk down to one another. We don't make it seem like you're a fool. You don't know what you're talking about. You have to respond in a respectful way so that person will not go off on you. Because the worst thing, you don't want your mate to close up communication on you. You don't want your mate to say, I don't want to talk about it no more. You don't want that. And let me tell you something, my brother and sister, when it comes to communicating with your mate, if it's something that's going to be heavy, never talk about heavy topics before you eat. Some people, they wait to have a heavy conversation before they eat. Then you spoil your appetite. No, you do not discuss heavy stuff before you eat. You wait. Okay, you wait. You don't want to go to bed angry. God don't want you to go to bed angry. God wants you, like Barney Fight used to say on Andy Griffith, nip it in the bud. You don't want to take it to bed. What is your bedroom for? Your bedroom is for relaxation and romance. Your bedroom is not for World War III. You don't take mess into your bedroom. You don't discuss heavy topics in your bedroom. Never do it. Remember, your bedroom is for relaxation and romance. Okay? Moving right along. Touching is non-verbal. So you have to have the verbal and you have to have the non-verbal. What is the non-verbal? Brothers and sisters, it's very important to touch your mate. It's very important to touch your mate. Whenever you see your mate daily, do some form of touching your mate. It's very important. Your touching does not have to lead to physical intimacy. So, brother, don't touch your woman just because you want her to, you want to do the monkey dance. Don't do that. So, it's nice to touch your mate. Touching is a form of communications. Brothers, don't you know your woman is romantic by nature? Especially if she's a daughter of God. God have formed your woman to be real soft, and she is a sponge. Women love romance. Me and sister by nature aren't programmed to be romantic. Even though he might appear to do some romantic thing before you got married, men by nature are not equipped to be romantic. You see, this goes to number 3. A man and a woman view romance different ways. Listen to what I'm saying. A man and a woman views romance different ways. You see, women want the feeling part of romance. You understand? Women want the feeling part of romance, while men are visual. Do you understand that, brother? Do you understand that, sister? Brothers, women want the feeling part of romance. Sister, do you understand that men are visual? Let me break this down to you. Sisters, romance to you is a romantic dinner with candles and stuff, right? That's romance to you. Don't you know, my brothers, that romance, women, when they read stuff, women are romantic. Most women are romantic. When you look at them looking at some things on TV, when they read novels and stuff, most romantic novels are written for women. They have what are romantic novels, romantic books and stuff. If you know that it's like this is how it goes. It has the woman, she meets the man. When the woman meets the man, they get attracted to one another. And when they get attracted to one another, this in books and this on movies and everything, TV series and everything. Sister Patty said computer is buffering. Do you all see me clearly? Or do you all see me clearly? If y'all see me clearly, put number 1 up. If you don't, put number 2. Because Sister Patty said my computer is buffering. If I'm clear, give me a number 1. If I'm not clear, give me a number 2. I hope that you all can see me clearly. If you could see me clearly, put number 1. Okay. And if you can't see me clearly, number 2. Okay, thank you all. Sister Patty, most of these people coming in with number one, sister. I don't know what's okay, Casper on that. How you doing? Say I was buffering. Okay, okay. Thank you all. Thank you all. Y'all keep me on track, okay? But thank you anyway. Um, and by the way, Casper, on that, welcome to the dinner table. Pray always. Welcome to the dinner table too. Men and women view romance in different ways. Brothers, women want the feel part of romance. Okay, they are romantic. They are romantic. If you in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a woman, brother, listen to this. They like that stuff. Even if you're not too much into it, you got to learn to start liking some of that stuff. If she's sitting there looking at some, sit down by her, or if she in the bed looking at some, lay down there by her and just touch her hand. Or hold her while she's looking at that. You'll get more out of your woman, brother, when you relate to her world. And sister, this is what you all need to understand. Men are visual. You understand that, sister? Men are visual. Men look at romance from a visual standpoint. Even though some of you are grandmamas, you can't look like a grandmama. There's a friend that's called Victoria. Y'all know about y'all friend Victoria. Go to Victoria's house and she got some stuff that she can give you. Men are visual. Men want their women to look good and smell good. We're visual. And that's how it is. We're visual. So men, so when a man comes to you, yes, that's what men, they don't want you looking with rose hair and looking all tore up and stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm not building Cinderella, but since we've been together, she have not been to bed looking, she might not feel good, but she never been to bed looking tore up. She never have yet. She might take her makeup and stuff off, but she naturally beautiful anyway. But she always look good and she always smell good. Always smelling good. Because she understand that men are visual. She understand that I'm visual. Even though I love the woman on the inside, she understand. So brother, so you got to understand when it comes to the romance, brother, women want to feel romance. So you got to understand men want you to look good. It's a trade-off. If you learn that, you got something going on. Number 4, men operate logically while women operate on the feelings. You see, you know why is that? In our brain, my brother and sister, women, we got two sides of the brain. We have the left and the right hemisphere. Women use both sides of their brain. Men normally use one side of their brain, even though he got two. That doesn't mean the woman's smarter than the man. You see, one side of the brain is for logic, and one side of the brain is for like emotions and feelings and stuff. You see, when women talk, they're using both sides of their hemisphere. They're using the left and the right. You understand, bro? They're using the left and the right. So you got to understand, men don't use majority of the right side of their brain, which is for the feelings and stuff. Men most are on the left side of the brain. So you got to understand physics, my brother and sister, the different makeup of the man and the woman. And this has something to do with how we relate to one another. When women are relating to a man, they're relating from both sides of their brains. They're mixing in logic and they're mixing in their feelings. That's why a lot of times you hear women say, I feel this way. Well, this is how I felt about it. Whereas men a lot of times say, well, this is what I think. You understand? Most of the time men say, well, this is what I think about it. They're coming to you logically. But women, brother, you got to understand that they're using both sides. So they're using their emotion and the logic. How you doing, Sister Deborah? Welcome to the dinner table. Catherine said, Amen. Just look a little nice, bring peace and rub our genie lamp, then we're good. Okay, we know what you mean by that, Catherine, on that. Okay. And how you doing, Sister Deborah? Welcome to the dinner table. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, brothers, listen, 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 listen. When your woman is talking to you, her brain, where her mind is at, her soul. Remember, the man and the woman will compose of what? The soul is the mind, the will, and the emotion. Where is all the where's the headquarters at? It's in the brain. Okay, it's in the brain. So she pulling thing from her right side, brother, and she pulling thing from her left side when she communicate with you. Okay, and we're gonna get more, a little more into detail when we talk about talking. Okay, and then sister, it might seem like he's cold. It might seem like your man is cold. It's not that he's cold. He using majority of the left side of his brain than his right. He got some emotion. That's why a man, bro, that's why you need Jesus. So Jesus can bring some of your right side of your brain with your logic, so you can have empathy towards your woman. And so that's why you need Jesus, so you can understand your man is logic. And this what happens, some sister, you have to verbally tell your man something that you think he need to know. Because there's some women, you think that a man know how to do everything. You think that a lot of women, they think that a man should know how to treat a woman. A man should know that. Men don't come into this world with no manual. And by the way, brother, you need to understand this. Women do not come into this world with no manual. That's why you need the originator of relationship. That's why you need God working through his son Jesus, through the Spirit, to teach you to teach you, to guide you, and to show you how to function in a relationship with a person that is different from you. Brothers, she will never be like you. Sister, he will never be like you. How you doing, Gerald Hall? How you doing? Hello, family. God bless. Men and more vision, women are more central. Yes, that is true. Yin and yang, that is very true. That's what I'm talking about. Now, number 5. Brothers and sisters, listen to this. Men think more about fixing problems in the relationship, while women mostly just want her man to feel her problem and not fix it. Listen very carefully, brother. A lot of time when your woman come to you, she don't want you to fix it. She just wants you to listen to her. That goes back to listening. She just wants you to feel what she's talking about. But since you got to understand, men, when they're listening to you, they go into this thing called "How can I fix it?" So that's a difference, sisters and brothers. That's a difference. Men think about how can I fix this issue, while sisters saying, "I really don't want you to fix it. I just want you to listen. I want you to feel this." It's just like this. It's just like this. If Cinderella is driving, is she driving and her tire go flat in the car, and if she called me, she'll say, Tony, I got a flat. When if Cinderella called me and say, I got a flat, what should I do? Should I say, well, did you call State Farm? Did you call what his name from State Farm? Did you call Jake from State Farm, Cinderella? Did you call Jake to come help you? She don't want me to say, did you call Jake from State Farm? She wants me to feel that the tire went down instead of me thinking about fixing it. So how should I do this? This is what I should say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're experiencing that, Cinderella. I'm sorry that you experienced that. And we need to do something about that. Instead of me saying you need to do something about that, I need to say we need to do something about it. What is the Lord language, my brother and sister? Is we, us, and our. Instead of me saying, have you called Jake from State Farm? I would say, okay, where are you at? I don't know where I'm at, Cinderella. look around and kind of tell me where you're at, or look on your GPS and tell me where you're at. Okay. She come back and tell me where she at. I say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to call Jake from State Farm and have Jake from State Farm to send someone out to change the tire. And I know you'll feel better when Jake sends someone. Won't you feel better? I love you, and I look forward to you getting home. If you need me to come, Cinderella, I will come. But Jake, he will send someone out there. Okay, I love you, and I'll see you when you get home. That's all you got to do, brother. Don't listen just to fix it. Feel her. And then you're not manipulating her, but you got to operate on that level. She's emotional. Because you know what, brother? You are the head of the relationship. She is the neck of the relationship. She supports the relationship. You lead the relationship. She support the relationship. That's number 5. Number 6. Now here goes something that you all need to understand. The question is, who talks more, the man or the woman? What do you all think? Who talked the most in the relationship, the man or the woman? Who do you think talked the most? Come on, I know you all got an opinion. Who talked the most? Who you think talked the most in the relationship? Because we got to talk about this. Don't be so bashful. Don't be so ashamed. Who do you think talked the most in the relationship? Shara said women talk the most. Okay. Thank you, Shara. Shara said women talk the most. Flo said women. Jarrell Hall said women. Deborah said women. I know I do. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you. In this magazine called The Female Brain that was published many years ago, this lady, Lou Ann Benzadine, she's an MD. She did some research and she claimed this, that women talk about, your sister Cindy said women. This sister, she said that women talk about 20,000 words a day, while men about 7,000. Check that out. She said, based on her research, women talk about, they use 20,000 words a day. You might not think that, but that's a lot of words a day. 20,000 words a day, and men 7,000. So you know what that means, brother? That means if your woman talk 2,000 words a day and she in a good mood, and you talk 7,000 words in a day, that means that when you get home, she got 13,000 words to share with you. That's amazing, ain't it? And that's based on research. And this is what it said about talking. It said men are more direct when talking, whereas women are more polite. And I kind of believe that. It said men are more direct while women are more polite. They're just like, if Cinderella and I probably, if Cinderella and I go, because she's the emotional part, I'm the logic part. Cinderella might could say something like, Tony, you hurt his or her feeling. And I said, no, I didn't hurt his or her feeling. And then she said, yes, you did. Yes, you did hurt his or her feeling. But I'm being direct. But she would say it in a more light way. But I'd be saying, it is what it is. But she'll say, no, don't, Tony. Women speak more correctly than men. That's right. Women speak more correctly than men. If they talking 20,000 words a day, they getting a whole bunch of practice. But they speak more correctly than men. Men speak more confidently than women. That's right. Men speak more with confidence than women. That leads me to this. Have you ever noticed Now, I'll use this for number 7. Let's go to number 7. Men want to be admired for achievements while women seek attention. Listen carefully, sisters and brothers. Sister, your man wants you to admire his achievement. Now, some of you sisters say, what have he achieved? Whatever he achieved, if he start taking the trash out, compliment him. Say, go. I knew you could take that trash out. You doing good. You doing good. Don't say you should have been taken out. You might say that in your head, but don't say it's about time. Don't do that. So, sister, men, listen to me carefully. Your man want you to acknowledge him before other people. Don't you know, sisters, that say for instance, your man, let's say your man doing something for other people or out there in the world or whatever, and other people are acknowledging your husband for his achievement. Don't you know he would think he would like to hear that more coming from you than old people? Don't you know your man would prefer, like your man get an award? He wants you to be his biggest cheerleader. Okay? He wants you to be his biggest cheerleader. That's just like if a man playing football and he's a star football player and he just made a touchdown and his woman is the head cheerleader. After the game, he want his woman to be the first one to run over and hug his neck, because even though he won the MVP, he want his woman to run up there because he have achieved something. Catching on that said, or when it's the winter time and we got to climb the attic because a critter might have to crawl in. Yeah, that's right, Casper, on that. Now, brothers, women seek attention. You understand that, brothers? Women, your woman want attention. Your woman will prefer attention more from you than from other men. You have to notice these things. If your wife get a new hairdo or something, if she get her nails painted a different color, you got to focus and give her attention. You don't want another man out there telling her how good she look, and then she think about, well, how this man could tell me how good I look. I'd rather hear it from my man at home. So, brothers, you got to seek attention. Let me tell you something. Some guys, there are a lot of ladies that be on social media. Listen very, very carefully. There are a lot of ladies that claim to be in a relationship on social media, but they feel compelled to show their bodies. But they're in a relationship. Why is your woman showing all her body on social media all the time? You know why your woman is showing all her body? Because she got some internal things going on and she's seeking attention. She may not say she's seeking attention, but she is seeking attention. Even if she just take a picture of her legs and put it out there on social media, she's seeking attention. A woman that just show her face every day and don't say nothing. She want to show herself every day and don't say nothing. Because some of you have seen it before. They don't say nothing to nobody. They just show a picture of themselves. They craving for attention. Brother, the attention, if she's in a relationship, she wants that relationship from you. Catherine, they said, help me to understand that, please, why they do that. That's what they crave attention, brother. If you got a woman, give her your attention. Give her your attention because she wants it. And let me tell you something. A lot of time when women showing themselves on social media, a lot of those times those men be catcalling them and all that kind of stuff. That don't mean they interested in a man. A lot of these guys, they jumping these women DMs and all that kind of stuff. And she'll look at it, but all she getting out of it is attention. All she want, all those guys that be saying, you a beautiful queen, you this, you that, you so beautiful, you so fine and stuff, and they be saying it, they'll put it out there on her page, or they'll go and they jump right in those inboxes. And let me tell you something, sister. When a lot of men be jumping your inbox, it's not about who you are. It's about what you have. You know what I mean by what you have, what they see. If you're showing a lot of breasts, they want to touch that breast. If you got a lot of hip, they want to grip your hips and move. If you're showing your butt, they want to touch your butt. I'm just telling you how it is. Don't think because these guys jump in your inbox, it's about you because they don't know you. They know about you from what they see. Because men's are what? Men's are visual. So my recommendation, brother, if you have a woman, give her attention. You supposed to try to know your woman like numb the hairs on her head. That's how intense you need to learn. You need to learn what she likes and what she dislikes. You need to anticipate what she needs now, what she wants. Her wants come after me. You have to anticipate, brother. See, brother, you're coming from how you doing, Auntie David. You have to understand, brother, that if you want her to acknowledge you for your achievement, you got to give her attention. When you give her attention, she will give you admiration. And sister, if you want attention, you have to give him admiration, unless he or she is a narcissist. So you got to understand, my brother and sister, men and women, they are different. Opposite never attracts. That's the world way. Opposite attract. Opposite does not attract. Differences attract. It's a full-grown man that a woman don't understand, and then there's a full-grown woman that a man doesn't understand. It's different. Men love the difference of a woman, not the opposite of a woman. Women love the difference of a man, not the opposite of a man. Because what does the Bible say? It said, don't be unequally yoked. Unequally yoked falls upon the category of opposite. Opposite and unequally yoked is the same thing. The Lord wants you, brother, and you, sister, to be on the same page. Because remember, the Bible clearly says that God is not the author of confusion, but peace. God wants a man and a woman to, the Bible say in Amos, how can two walk together unless they will agree? You have to agree to move forward. Example, when it comes to agree, Cinderella and I, we go to a movie. When we go to a movie, we're the theater. We go to the theater. And they got, let's say they got 10 screens in there. If Cinderella and I go to the theater, does it look kind of unwise if I buy a ticket to go to this movie and she get and then she get a ticket to go to that movie, but we came to the same theater? Does that make sense? No. When we go to the theater, we supposed to be go to the same movie. You understand? We go to the same movie, even though they got different screens. We go to the same movie. We walk together. If we go to a restaurant, I might want. Let's see what I might want. I might like a big, thick, steak. She may want some type of broiled chicken. So there's this place, broiled chicken, and this place, steak. So we have to say, let's go to this place because I can get my steak and you can get your broiled chicken. One place. We got to be on the same page. She has a desire. I have a desire, but both of our desires are being met, but we are together, even though we're different. You understand? We're different, but our desire, because we walk together. And you see, the thing about it, my brother and sister, thank you, Casper, on that. Amen. Taking note. And let me tell you, my brother and sister, listen very carefully. Don't hear me. Listen very carefully. You got to understand this. You, brother, and you, sister, when God put you together, you are unique. You are already unique before you came into the word, but you are unique. But especially when God put you together, my brothers and sisters, he did not put you together just for you. Even though it's going to benefit you, it's for his glory. Because the only church some people see is your relationship, brother, how you treat your wife, and sister, how you respect your husband. I mean, brother, how you love your wife, and sister, how you respect your husband. That's the only example that some people see. Because a lot of people don't go to worship service, they don't go there. So you are a living testament. And you see, the Lord is shining in you, brother and sister. He shines whether you're in a relationship or not. But when you're in a relationship, you got two people together that are one. And you know that light's supposed to be real bright. It's supposed to be bright. Because, brother, you're supposed to love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. And, sister, you're supposed to reverence your husband. And you're supposed to submit to him like the church submit to Christ. Just like it said in Ephesians 5:22, it said, "Why submit yourselves unto your own husband, as unto the Lord." Listen to what it say, as unto the Lord. So, sister, when you submit yourself to the Lord, I mean to your husband, it's just like you got to look past him, just like it's the Lord, because you might be in a relationship with a knucklehead, sister. So when you submit yourself to him, it's just like you submit yourself. You got to look past him and say, I'm doing it for the Lord. That's how you have to do it. I'm doing it for the Lord. And sister, brother, you may have a woman that you in love with, but she's not respecting you. But then you got to say, look, I'm doing it for the Lord because the Lord command me to love my wife. So the Lord command me, I got to do it whether I feel like it or not. So you understand, my brother and sister? So I hope tonight at the dinner table, my brother and sister, I hope that you all enjoyed this meal tonight. How can a man and woman be so different, yet God can make them as one? God put two imperfect people together. God never put two perfect people together because they're not one perfect man and they're not one perfect woman. And I have told you all before, stop looking for the perfect man or woman. He or she doesn't exist. Wait till God calls the right man and the right woman to come into your life. God will orchestrate it. But what you need to do, brother, and what you need to do, sister, if you desire to be in a relationship with a man or woman, just delight in the Lord. The Lord know you have desire for a man or woman if you have desire. And in the Lord's time, he's going to orchestrate it. He's going to orchestrate it. And you don't have to be looking. The Bible says, man that find a wife, find a good thing. No man don't actually go looking for no woman. What it means is when God bring the woman to him, he found her. By default, he found her because God brought her there in his view. Just like Adam. Adam did not go running looking for no woman. God brought her. Just like Isaac. He didn't go looking for Rebecca. God orchestrated that. Just like Boaz and Ruth. Boaz didn't go looking for Ruth. God brought her in his sight and put her right there on his property. God would do it. Let God do it. And when God does it, when God does it, brother and sister, you have to pray, is this God will? Even though he might look good and he might be 6 feet, he might have all those abs and stuff, he might be dressing good, he might have a lot of swag, he might be he might be tall, dark, and handsome. And then, brother, just because she looked good and just because she got like the Commodore used to say years ago, even though she might be a brick house, 36, 24, 36, oh, what a winning hand. She might be all that. But if the Lord don't have nothing to do with inside those two people, it's void. Like I say, I have said it before, brother and sister. Sister, God might bring you little froggy. But guess what? Little froggy is a prince on the inside. You understand that, brother? And sister, he might bring you little froggy. Your family and friend might talk about how little Froggy look, but little Froggy, he's a good man to you. And then, brother, uh, he might bring you Big Bertha. Big Bertha might have a lot of cellulite and everything. And people might say, why are you going with Big Bertha? She's big. She been eating a whole bunch of chicken. But guess what? Big Bertha, she might be that virtuous woman on the inside. Let God hand pick the person for you. God will pick the right person for you. Now, God sprinkle a little handsome on the man and a little beauty on the woman. That just, hey, that's just a bonus. Let God bring you together, my brother. Let God bring you together, my sister. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Is there any question that you need to ask right now at the dinner table before you all take the care out plates and I clean the kitchen? Is there anything you want to say? If you have something more that you want to say, just put down there now. Wait, and I'll wait. If there's something that you want to address to one of the brothers and sisters, do it, but do it respectfully now. If there's something that you want to ask, the time to do it now is ask. But wait, and I'll wait. If you do not, we're about to get from the dinner table, and I want you all to take your place with you and share it with other brothers and sisters. Okay. Those of you on the tube, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button. So when it's time to dinner table, you're going to hear a ding. And then those of you that are on the book, like and share too, okay? You know, I just asked you for a simple thing because other people need to hear this. Other people need to come to the dinner table to get something good soul food for the soul, my brother and sister. I love you, brothers. I love you, sister. Thank you all so much for coming to the dinner table to get some of the good soul food. You all have a good night, and Lord willing, you all have a good day. Remember, my brother and sister, the most important relationship that you need to have is your relationship with God's son Jesus. Before man or woman, make sure that that relationship is together. Okay, make sure. Good night, Auntie David. Good night. Remember that, my brother and sister. Okay, I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out.